Now back to your regular scheduled programming.
So yeah, man, all right.
Got to go way back.
Yeah, holy shit.
Middle school days.
Holy shit, dude. 13. I want to say I was even like 12. Nah.
I think you were 13 and you were just about to turn 14 because I'd met you. I think it might have been like January or like February.
I want to make sure the camera stays filming for this.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
definitely.
I want this on the YouTube. But yeah, it's a wild story. It's a long story. We'll try and make it somewhat short. But
or long, like
or long.
We could just finish it and be like, "Oh, we only have 20 minutes left."
Yeah,
cool.
This is a podcast. We have some time to kill. But yeah. So basically, maybe 2006, because this is before my brother had passed away, and he was somebody who was super influential on like what I did. Obviously, if you guys listen to my music, you know what I mean. You've heard the songs, and I just popped right there, so I'm gonna make sure I don't get that loud again. But yeah, you guys have heard the songs, and so at that time he is like hanging out with this girl a lot, and my brother is hanging out with this girl a lot, and his girl lives like over the wall from me essentially. Well, yeah, like basically over the wall. And anyway, I don't know. I was rapping at that time. I was 12 years old, and I was starting to rap, but I hadn't really like taken it serious yet. I was a fucking child. But yeah, anyway, I was a child, so of course I was sleeping like very early. Probably not that early, but anyway, I was my brother. It was one morning that I had woke up, and I talked to my brother, and he was like, dude, he knew I had been rapping. He's like, dude, our big homie Mike or whatever, our big homie, my brother's like, yo, the big homie brought over 2 dudes, and they were freestyling just for like hours, going crazy. And he's like, and like one of them is K.O.N. and one of them is our other homie or whatever. And this is back when you were Confucius still.
The elongated name.
Like, bruh, this fool Confucius. He's like, dude, he's rapping for freestyling for hours and just killing it. He was like, yo, if you could just hook up with these fools, like, you'd be good. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, for real? Like, hell yeah, that's dope, and never really thought too much of it, but of course was excited, just that he was, like, so hyped about it. And then our big homie Mike worked at Circle K at the time. So
good old Circle K.
Yeah. So we would always go hang out at Circle K, and I met the other homie that was there with you that night. And I had met him first, and we were kind of like kicking raps, and he was...
You knew him for a little bit before, right?
No, that was the first time I ever met him. Not Mike. Big Mike, I've known Big Mike
but
since
the other homeboy, did you know him before we had went on that management thing or whatever?
Yeah, so the first time I had met... It was just Grade.
Yeah,
I was about to say the first time I met Grade was... was at Circle K. And... yeah, Mike was like, oh, you need to fucking listen to him or whatever. And
did Grade rap for you? Like, did he spit a written or did he spit a freestyle?
I think he was just freestyling, honestly.
Grade's just freestyle no matter what.
You know what I mean?
But has dope written.
But yeah, it was like, dude, this was super tight, whatever. And then I don't really remember how long after it was, but Big Mike, our boy, called me and was like, hey, there's this like opportunity, kind of, and he pitched it to me like it was supposed to be. Like, it was going to be this, like, reality
like
show.
Like a TV show, kind of.
Yeah, and it was going to get pitched to, like, BET or some shit, and we were going to do, like, lunchroom ciphers and things like that, and that was what it got pitched
Rap at
to
a
me
strip club. That was the big one that they'd always pitched, that
really?
there was going to be a performance at a strip club. And
well, I mean, I was 13, so they were, like, lunchroom ciphers.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe not the strip club yet, yeah.
Right. But, yeah, so he told me that, and it was kind of like, all right, well, yeah, of course, I'm down. Like, I don't, whatever.
It's like,
it's
what
an
else
opportunity.
Do I have to do?
Yeah. And this is actually after my brother had already, like, the whole situation with that had already happened. So it was kind of like I kind of forgot in my mind. Like, I met Grade and all that after my brother had passed away. So I kind of like, I don't know. It was just, anyway.
He's like 13 at the time. He's thinking about a lot of other stuff.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Rap's not like the hugest thing at the moment.
Right. But yeah, of course, when Big Mike is like, "Yo, let's do this thing. It sounds like a cool idea. So of course I was down, and we went to meet up with the person that was supposedly, setting the whole thing up. Yeah, the management or whatever. And my other homie had picked me up and brought me over there. And then it was like when I got over there, it was, Grade. I met him. It was our other boy and K.O.N.
It was like all 4 of us in the back, right, when we're heading over there. And we're like freestyling on the way there too, like just getting into it, getting hype. And they all have.
But no, I didn't meet you until I got there.
Was it like that?
Yeah, I didn't meet you until I got there because they had picked me up. And it wasn't. I didn't meet you. Yeah, I didn't meet you guys until I got there.
And keep in mind too, like at this time, Domes is like so small that like I think like one of my homeboys is in the middle, and like you can't see Domes on the other side unless you like kind of look over and like see him. But he's like so small. Like I think he might have went up to like. Not even like my shoulder or anything like that. Like he's really like a 12, 13-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was literally 13.
Hair is like super short. Like he had like kind of like a buzz cut. Yeah, it wasn't a bowl cut.
No,
it was cleaner than
when
that.
It was shaved at that point.
Yeah, it was like a number 2 or number 3.
The Bobby Hill.
Yeah, like the Bobby Hill haircut. For sure. And did you want to keep going with it, or did you want me to start?
Yeah. Well, basically, it was like I didn't really know anybody. Big Mike just kind of hit me up and told me about this thing, and I met you guys when I got there. But when I met you guys, it was like, yo, this is Confucius. This is, these are the people that my brother was talking about. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it kind of happened like that, and we kind of got brought into this room unknowingly, I didn't know who I was supposed to be, brought there with. And the fact that it was you guys, I felt like, was supposed to happen.
It's like destiny or something
exactly.
like that.
It was definitely destined to happen. And then, I was this little kid, and I was spitting gun bars, and I was like...
It was something like Hennessy mixed with ocean spray, or like there was like some alcohol mixed with like fruit juice or something reference, like that stuck out definitely.
I was trying to think of like my first raps the other day, and I was like, dude, I remember... I said something about throw slugs through your pro club.
Yeah, I definitely remember that one.
Old.
That one stuck out for sure. I'll throw slugs through your pro clubs.
I did not have any guns when I was there.
And like Domes would move around kind of like Wolverine, like he's just slashing you up.
The big homie used to be like, he just get to chopping.
Yeah. He was like the cyborg fetus, we called him. He's like he had to be made as a rapper. Ancient. Like when he was like a fetus, he had to be like programmed or something. Like how does this kid, especially keep in mind that like this is 2007, like rap is not at the most lyrical point in time.
Right.
Most people are listening to like not Soulja Boy, but maybe like Rich Boy or
but
throw some
Soulja Boy
D's
was like popping at that point.
Yeah.
That
but
was
like,
what was going on.
So to see like a kid that's like 13 or 12 that's like killing it. You know what I mean? Like he reminded me honestly
Our rhyme
of like
patterns were always on point. But I was not saying anything.
He reminded me honestly of like Big Pun. Like
that's
people
dope.
May never
Big
hear
Mike
those
put
songs.
Me on Big Pun for sure.
That kind of like resemble that style that Domes had at the time. But when I heard him, I was like, holy shit. Like, do you want me to go into it? Because I could get into my story.
You take it away, and then I can chime in.
I'm kicking it with my boy Grade. Like, I'd known Grade for maybe grade A.
Right.
Probably about like 2.5 years at the time. Like, just always freestyling, always killing it, writing songs. I had this other dude I used to work with who didn't really get along with Grade A, so like it was kind of like a weird relationship at the time. And didn't necessarily get along with Micus at the time either, so it was kind of like a division in between that.
Yeah.
But I always kick it with Grade. Like he'd always, to me, like being around him always kept me like sharp on like my pen game, or kept me sharp on my freestyle game. Because if you're not like in school, like you don't have people walking up to you trying to battle you every day or trying to see how dope you are. It's like if you go to the studio or maybe you meet someone, like it's not, you're not really being tested as much, And I would come around him and just like spit something that I thought was so dope, and he would just like murder my shit.
Dude,
I'd be
when
like,
he rapped for me at the Circle K, I was like he said something that was off the top, and I was just
and
like,
he raps like he doesn't give a shit. You know?
It was so effortless and so careless, but yet so dope and like intricate that I was like, yo.
he could literally be like waking up, like sleeping on the couch or like a bed or something, and like
just start rapping.
You know, get the coal out of his eye or whatever, and kill some shit that you're like, damn, you sound like Eminem from Infinite or some shit.
Right.
Like you sound insane. Like,
it's like crazy.
And just not even care. Like, no, I'm not gonna write that down. It's not all that. Like, no, we didn't say that's all that, but it's just like I could do that every day, like just effortlessly.
Yeah.
So I'm kicking it with one of my homeboys, and it's like me, Grade, and our homeboy. And then we go and we pick up like Doms' brother. We go to like a pawn shop. We do like a lot of things that night. And I came over just to rap with my homeboys. Like I'm ready to rap like that whole night. Like I'm like itching at the turn to rap, you know? So I think we're kicking it in front of either your house or your brother's girlfriend's house.
Yeah,
because I think you were over the wall.
It was
or
over
whatever.
at her house because I remember him telling me.
And they're kind of talking about Doms, like, oh, like, you know, my little brother raps. And our other homeboy's like, oh, I got him listening to Cannabis. Like he's going to be on that ill shit.
I listened to like one song from K.O.N.
Yeah, maybe like one record
Which
or whatever.
was the one, I can't remember. Anyway.
Because like my other homeboy was like super into Eminem. We're kicking it. It's like our homeboy, Doms' brother, and our homeboy, Grade. And he's like, you know, let's hear something or whatever. So I just black out. You know, I've been waiting to rap for like 4 hours, man. Like, we've been going around.
He was like, yo, they were rapping for freestyling off of each other for hours, bro.
Yeah, like just going off of everything. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, hopefully one day on this podcast, like, because I know that A had shit, like, you're like, this dude can't freestyle for shit. You know what I mean? But it's different in a battle. You know, like a battle, you're more prepared for stuff. But, like, just when you're kicking it with your homeboys and it's just, like, exercising, like, you can get off on some crazy shit. Stuff that's so dope, you might use it for your written material later on.
We used to come up with a lot of battle stuff just to freestyle.
Definitely. Just in ciphers, and you're like, damn, we got to use that. You know what I mean? But like his brother, Doms' brother, like our other homeboy was like, oh, you think Doms can hang with these fools? And he's like, he'll get to that level. You know what I mean?